The mail never stops.
Here comes the mailman.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
Got
When
a
you
doozy
control the
today.
mail, you control information.
What happened to my $100, Joe? Did you take my money?
You ain't worth no $100. I am Joe Blow, the lover man. You should be paying me, bitch.
Into something
That's right,
strange
bitch.
in your league.
I was watching Dolomite.
Who you gonna call?
Here, here's $2. Go get you some fish pie and keep it clean for me next time.
You need to keep me away from the blaxploitation movies. Bad influence. All right. I was watching Dolomite. I was watching what was the other? Human Tornado. Oh my God. Wonderful film. You've tuned into the Sleepwire Mailsack. Good evening, everyone, fans, listeners, and thank you for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're so glad you could join us tonight. This is the only live call-in weekly advice show for fantasy football brought to you by Sleepwire. Phone number right now to call in. What happens? We'll take your question. If you call in, you jump the line, and we talk to you immediately. The number is 20579-SLEEP, 205-797-5337. You can also join us on Facebook in the group section under the Sleepwire Fantasy Football Club, on Twitter at Sleepwire Show, or on the Sleeper app under the Sleepwire channel. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope, you can send us questions in the comments, and we will get to them as well. So on today's show, my deep sleeper Seer, he is thankful for his favorite player may become fantasy relevant again for the playoffs. It's James White. Who's the prophet, everybody? At Sleepwire Hoos on Twitter. And from Top Tier Tactics Fantasy Football Podcast, we're actually thankful for him for filling in here last minute. Nader, he is on as well at Top Tier Tactics _ on Twitter. His website is tttfantasyfootball.com. We've got calls already. We're going to get to these immediately. Guys, if you have any questions, hey, Nicholas Lejeune, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Hit us up on Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, or the chat, anywhere you're listening. All right, let's talk to Chirp. Chirp has been waiting for a few minutes. Good evening, Chirp. What do you got for us?
What up?
What's going on?
Oh, man. Hey, you got it, man. Appreciate y'all. Call up, said thank you. I hit up on the, I think that was the waiver wire show. And it helped me out, make sure I didn't make a mistake. I appreciate it. I got a dub for this week, both the leagues. So feeling all right. So, hey, I want to hit y'all up and just see about the situation with Baltimore, because I got Lamar, and that was pretty much my only quarterback. So this week I dropped out Jacoby Myers and picked up Daniel Jones, and just wondering, this is prior to finding out about they moving the game back to Sunday, which it really don't really affect too much anything anyway, since Baltimore kind of been playing like crap. And I don't want them going. I don't know how they're gonna do about Steelers. I just see what y'all thought about that going between Daniel Jones and Lamar.
Host, I'll give the floor to you.
Well, you know I'm a Daniel Jones. I'm a Giants. Anything New York, I'm just gonna love them. But you know what? I've kind of been leaving Lamar. I know Lamar's been bad, but I've kind of just been leaving him in my lineup. I think he's one of the. I look at him kind of like Deshaun Watson, who I was very high on coming into the season, and a lot of people were just dogging Deshaun Watson. But he's gonna have bounce back games. He's gonna not have so many great games. Look, this is his second. This is his third year, but this is kind of like his second year. I look at it kind of like as a sophomore slump for him. Kind of expected it a little bit. So he's having these okay games against bad teams. So he's probably gonna get you 18 to 20 points. Not what you want, but at the same time, what is Daniel Jones gonna give you? You don't know. Like, and this coming from a Giants fan. I love Daniel Jones. He's all the sex, as Stephanie Smalls would say. But no, I don't think I'd feel confident starting Daniel Jones, especially at this time of the year. Now, again, I'm a guy that always says go with your gut. So if you got a gut feeling about Daniel Jones, start him. But my rankings, I'm not going to arbitrarily just place Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson. I'm just not going to. He's not as good of a quarterback. I'm not worried about the matchup as much. You're worried about it, but you're playing talent. Whenever you try to play this game of who to play, that's kind of when you get it wrong, and you know. So I'm leaving him in my lineup as hard as it is to see. Just step away from your phone. You're gonna be all right. I think he's gonna turn out a decent game for you, Nader.
The old fashioned rule is you start your studs, and Lamar Jackson has the highest floor out of quarterbacks because of his running ability, and because of that, even if he has a semi bad game, it's still considered a pretty good game for most quarterback aspects. I mean, last time he played against Pittsburgh, he did disappoint a little bit with only about 11 fantasy points in a 6-point per passing touchdown league. But you're not counting on that. You're counting on his running ability to really stack up the points. I think he's going to bounce back a little bit more. Daniel Jones, he only has one game in his whole career when he hasn't had a turnover, even though he has a semi-decent matchup. I can't find a way for you to justify putting Daniel Jones in your lineup picks other than Lamar Miller, because especially if he goes off, you're just going to feel stupid.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Like the Daniel Jones pick, it's not a crazy pick, but to rank him over Lamar Jackson, and that's what this is my struggle with just putting guys in my lineup all year, because I'm ranking guys, right? I'm ranking them on Fantasy Pros, and I want to be the top guy, right? I'm ranking against these guys, and I'm actually I'm ranking safe for the most part. Other than last week, I ranked Taysom Hill top 10. I was top 7 in the quarterbacks last week, toot on Fantasy Pros, probably largely because of that. But for the most part, you kind of have to play it safe. It's probably not going to be too much of a big point of a difference. You're probably going to see if Daniel Jones does outscore him, maybe a point or two, or vice versa. So, again, you're just going to go with your studs. You're going to feel a lot easier leaving Lamar Jackson in your lineup than having Daniel Jones, I think.
I'm going to agree with you there.
But yeah, I guess looking at all the stuff that was going on with the Bengals, because I even scooped up the defense, thinking that it was going to be some pretty much a bonanza or a bloodfest going on over there.
That defense just gets better by the minute, doesn't it? With Gio in the concussion protocol now, I mean, the Giants' defense is looking really good.
They have nothing else to do but to kind of step up. So when so many things are bad, something has to look good, right? Like opportunities are there for the defense.
Well, I was hoping, more opportunities for him to get on offense to go ahead and get some points going there.
I mean, it's not the worst idea. I'm not going to recommend it, though. I'm going to recommend you start Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
But it's your team. This is the first time of the year. Go with your gut. But, at the end of the day.
Yeah, the only way I find yourself putting in Daniel Jones in is if you find more COVID cases appearing for the Ravens. After that, they might postpone the game another week, and then obviously you're going to have to put Daniel Jones in, or you might have to put Daniel Jones in because it's safer,
right,
for your team.
Clearly, I mean, it's Wednesday. It's very early in the week.
Yeah, it's still very early, but it's still early for cases. They can still have more turn up. And if by Thanksgiving or Friday happens, and they have discovered a couple more cases, that game might be pushed back, and then you'll be forced to put Daniel Jones in.
There you go.
So it's good depth to have. So you want to have somebody like Daniel Jones in your depth, just in case. But if the game is a go Sunday, Lamar Jackson would be the recommended pick.
Agreed.
Yeah, Jesus is on the chat. He says, I'd rather lose with Lamar in my starting lineup than with him on the bench.
Right. And that's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
Fully agree.
All right.
All right, sure. You got anything else, man?
I'll definitely do that. Probably just one more of the defensive bit, because right now I'm toting 2, and I'm trying to look at as far as going further in the season, in the playoffs. And I see they got Cleveland was out there on my waves right now as well. So if I was going to roll with 2, right now, like I said, I got Saints and I got Giants. So if I was going to discard one to get Browns, which one would we do? Or Browns even worth picking up?
Oh, well, their best defensive lineman is right now on the COVID list. I don't think he's playing, which would be Myles Garrett. So honestly, I would rather keep both defenses unless there's a specific playoff matchup that you want to attack and take advantage of.
Yeah, there's some good defenses out there. A lot of them are probably being stashed already at this point. It just all depends on how deep your league is, how savvy the guys are. Some guys are stashing 2 defenses at this point because they're aware of the playoffs and they're like, okay, I'm going to play the matchups. Miami's a good defense. There's a lot of good defenses out there. I think the Rams have a good defense, but obviously they're probably pretty well owned. Even though people have been dropping them. But for your playoffs, those are 2 decent teams that might be available. Washington has been okay too. Defensively, they don't have the tough schedule. I mean, that division is bad. So,
I think the 2 hot ones this week, though, are Cleveland and the Giants, just based on the quarterback matchup, because you got Mike Glennon and you got who knows for Cincinnati. So those are the 2 hot ones. I think you could probably use the Browns further, though, right? Like Browns and Saints would probably be more useful throughout the rest of the season, I think.
Yeah, you would be correct. But I mean, New Orleans played Denver this week. And while Drew Lock is a starting quarterback, he is known to make mistakes. And New Orleans, they just had 8 sacks against Matt Ryan. I mean, not necessarily 8 this week, but they're going to put the pressure on Drew Lock. And they're going to make, pressure burst pipes because he's going to throw picks. It's not like he has the utmost weapons on the offensive side for Drew Lock. So I expect him to really clamp down and make him struggle. Any questions?
Well, yeah, that pretty much do it for me. Yeah, that's all I need to know about for this week.
All right, buddy. Thank you. You're the dude from Detroit, right?
Nah, I'm in Texas.
Oh, that's right. I could be able to tell.
Making noise.
I've been out of Texas for so long, I kind of forgot the accent. I remember now. All right, man. Have a good Thanksgiving, buddy. Enjoy the weather out there. All right, we'll talk to you later. Guys, the phone line is all right, buddy. The phone lines are wide open, 205-797-5337, 205-79-SLEEP. If you want to call in, the phone lines are clear. We'll answer your question first. Let's get into the mail sack with some questions from the web. All right, let's start with Stay Frosty 88 quarterback question. This is a good one, actually. This is one I'm struggling with myself. What do you like this week to start, Carr or Tannehill? Let's start with you, Nader.
When you have quarterbacks and you want to put them the same level of talent, you go with the matchup. Derek Carr goes against Atlanta. Tannehill goes against Indianapolis. And if history repeats itself, Tannehill's going to struggle once again. I'm going Derek Carr all the way.
Yeah. Normally I'd want to lean Tannehill and not look at the matchup. But Carr's been pretty good despite matchups. He's been all right. Like he's been serviceable. He's always serviceable, but he's been more than okay this season. He has Atlanta. So yeah, you gotta laugh because it's like it's one of those situations where you have to start him because he's facing Atlanta. But I mean, I'd want to start Ryan Tannehill over Derek Carr, but you're gonna play the matchup. Absolutely.
All right. Jimmy Cookie wants to know, what is the meaning of life? Flex PPR, Pittman, Boyd, or Melvin Gordon? Interesting selection.
The meaning of life.
Well, we could work on that on another show. That's another show. That's Chat with the Prophet on Sunday morning. So flex PPR, Pittman, Boyd, or Melvin Gordon?
Ooh, Pittman, Boyd, or Melvin Gordon. Gotta go Boyd.
Really?
Even though you don't have, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking. All right, I don't have my rankings up, so I just kind of arbitrarily threw Boyd out there. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to go Gordon, though. Melvin Gordon.
I'm going to disagree with you on both of them. I don't think Boyd or Gordon should be an option. I mean, Gordon, he's going against the Saints, and the last time the Saints allowed a 100-yard rusher was 2017. Tyler Boyd, well, is onto the backup quarterback. And then Michael Pittman, he's been on a hot streak, and he goes against a defense that's been getting torched lately. I'm going Michael Pittman. And to answer the meaning of life, a serious question, a serious answer,
Enjoy
the
it.
pursuit of happiness.
Wow.
Try to enjoy it.
I just typed in the chat, fast cars, easy women, and fantasy football championships. That's what I thought. JFan87.
Whatever you're into, if you like men stuff.
What? What are you talking? What are you
said
doing?
Chicks. He said chicks.
This sounds very gay.
There's
Stop.
gay people out there, bro.
You just want me to.
Gay
Yeah, I
people
know.
don't matter. Like the gay lives don't matter.
It's just the
Look,
same.
I got, I'm wearing the purple for my gay
boy.
people out there. You know what I'm saying? I got love for the gay people out there too. It's just,
All right.
They
They
matter too.
appreciate that. All right.
It's not wrong,
Nicholas
but maybe
Lejeune,
like any-holes.
Nicholas Lejeune wants to know: start Curtis Samuel or Marvin Jones this week in a PPR.
Host, all you start.
I'm gonna go. Curtis. I'm going with Curtis.
I'm going Marvin Jones. I mean, Amendola and Galladay are out. He's got to throw it to somebody, and right now Marvin Jones is probably the best option they have.
Yeah, I think Marvin Jones got the opportunity here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Curtis Samuel has a higher ceiling.
The opportunity, but I don't know if I like Marvin Jones to have the opportunity. I like Marvin Jones when he has talent around him, and people are forgetting that he's Marvin Jones, and he's wide open, and he catches a touchdown or two.
What you don't think Mohamed Sanu is going to draw the number one coverage?
Oh, come on. Ask me that 3 years ago. Maybe I'll give you a solid answer.
All right,
And I love Marvin Jones. He's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah. So let's do it as this way, since we're kind of split. Let's do risky and safe. Is Curtis Samuel the more upside guy and Marvin Jones the safer?
I think Curtis is safer right now just because of how he's been trending. They've been wanting to get him. He's super involved. They keep getting him involved. They want to find ways to get him involved. All three receivers, but mainly it seems like DJ, obviously, he's the main guy there. And they need to get Curtis Samuel involved. He has a lot of talent. They've been giving him rushing work. He's been solid. So, I think he's safer. Marvin Jones can give you a dud game. He can give you 6 points, but he can also go give you 30. So,
all right.
Marvin Jones also definitely has a bigger boom, but I think, Curtis is safer.
Okay. All right.
I'm going the opposite.
Oh, no. Well, all right. Go ahead. Explain yourself.
Well, the opposite. I mean, Curtis, he's third on the depth chart. There's still DJ Moore. There's still Robbie Anderson. They're still running the ball. You have to they got to get tricky in order to get him involved, whether it's, a little, giving him some carries, a little flea flicker, a pass, screen passes. Marvin Jones, I mean, the Lions, they can't run the ball. DeAndre Swift probably isn't even going to play. We're still unsure on that. So we expect them to be down. And if you're down, you're passing. I like Marvin Jones being safer.
All right.
Why we need Lucas on the show, Lucas.
We need a tiebreaker. We need a tiebreaker right now. We're 1-1.
We're giving the listeners advice, and we're giving them a lot of information, so they're going to make their own decision eventually. They just got some more intel. All right, phone lines wide open, 205-79-SLEEP, 205-797-5337. Got a question from J-Fan here. Drop Logan Thomas for Ertz. Let's start with that. There's a couple parts to this question, so let's start with that. Are you guys picking up Ertz and dropping Logan Thomas? Do you have confidence that Ertz is going to come back and be Ertz?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Logan Thomas, he's barely startable, if that. I mean, Zach Ertz, he's Carson Wentz's favorite target, and if it's a PPR league, then I think he's going to get force-fed. There's just no other options for him.
I mean, he's definitely using Goddard. They want to use Jalen Reagor. So to say that's I don't know. I don't want to say it's inaccurate, but it's just I don't call it lazy either, Nader. I think it's lazy Nader.
No. Zach Ertz is their best receiver.
No, I mean, he absolutely is. That's correct. But I don't know, for whatever reason, they're not using him this year like they have been using him in previous years. And to be fair, they haven't had a healthy team all year. This will be the healthiest team they've had all year. I mean, they've got Miles, they've got Goddard, they've got the full complement of weapons right now. Alshon's out there, he's not doing anything, but I don't know. This is tough for me.
I trust Zach Ertz. I mean, he's pulled through for everybody. He's been the round 3 draft pick in fantasy.
I understand the question. It's definitely Zach Ertz, but I definitely understand the question because Logan Thomas this has been a year of tight ends, like the old tight ends, not the tight ends where we've had tight ends scoring 20 points a game, but the tight ends that score 13 points a game, and you're happy with that. That's what this year has been. Like Waller is averaging 13 points a game. Other than that last 20-point game he hasn't been giving you great points. Kelsey's been the only one doing it, and Logan Thomas has been kind of a steady Eddie guy for you. So I understand that earlier in the season, I have a ton of Zach Ertz. He's not the sexiest play as he used to be, but you have to absolutely roster him. I actually want to hold both and play the matchups possibly.
I like Zach Ertz. He's my guy. We go with him.
All right, part 2 of JFan87's question. Pick 3, and it's a PPR. Let me give you the names here. So we need 3 of these guys. Connor, Gibson, McKissick, Eckler, Moss, Judy, T. Higgins, and then there's a third part to the question. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, I need to start 3. So James Conner, Gibson, McKissick, Eckler, Moss, and Judy and T. Higgins. Actually, that's 7.
That's a lot of people there.
Yeah. So who do you like? Give me your first 3 that you like here.
Alrighty. So Connor. Well, Eckler's not playing, so let's eliminate him from the list. Connor, Gibson, and then Judy.
All right. And then the second part of the question here, I don't know where Hoos went. He disappeared. Drop Judy or T. Higgins for Pittman. Drop Moss for Gaskin. I would definitely do the second part. And I think I'd do Judy for Pittman at this point. What do you think, Nader?
I drop Higgins for Pittman. Right now, the Browns, they're not efficiently passing the ball, and they're running the ball way too effectively to even consider passing. Judy's just a great overall talent, and he is the bright spot of that dud that is that offense. Pittman has been also a stud. I think he's a great pick. Higgins is the one I want to drop. And for your second part, I like Gaskin. I think he's the better player, but Moss, I think he is in a little bit of a better situation. So I might rather have Moss in the case that Singletary does get hurt. Therefore, basically a high upside RB2.
All right. Welcome back. We need to pick 3 first, and then we're talking about drops here. So our selection is Connor, Gibson, McKissick, Moss, Judy, and T. Higgins, and we need 3 out of those. Who do you like?
To start?
Yeah. PPR.
McKissick. I think your first 3.
Connor, Gibson, McKissick?
Yeah.
Okay.
You honestly can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Especially if you could throw McKissick in your wide receiver position. Like, I've been rocking him on Sleeper at least as a wide receiver. Like, if I'm not heavy at that position, it's been, like, pretty sweet.
All right. And then the second part was drop Jerry Judy or T. Higgins for Pittman. Drop Moss for Gaskin. What do you think of those 2 moves?
In a redraft, sure. Judy, not Higgins. I still want to see what Higgins might be able to do with whatever quarterback that's comes back. And I'm sorry, what was the second part?
Moss for Gaskin.
No. I don't know, though, because, I mean, I guess. Sure.
With the upcoming of Ahmed, Gaskin, we don't know what kind of role he's going to get. Yeah, there you go. I got you. There we go. I mean, we don't know exactly what kind of role Gaskin's going to return to. He could be splitting carries. He could be 60-40. With Moss, you already know he's going to get probably red zone carries. He's going to get the handful of targets. he's more consistent, and there's only one other back on that roster to fight positions for. So Moss would be the safer and probably the better RB to have.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Moss. If you can get him, I know he's had the off game his last one, but they still want to get him the ball. And Gaskins, I think Ahmed has definitely carved some sort of a role there, and I want to see more of him because I'm a fan. I have him on quite a bit of teams.
All right.
There we go.
We got to set my lineup. I love these. Wait, I'm gonna play a different song. Let's do this one. All right, this is Bobby Pickens listening on the Mixler. He wants us to set the lineup. 12 team, 2 quarterback, PPR. All right, so wide receivers, I need 2 out of Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, Samuel, Patrick, John Brown.
2, so Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett's must start.
Yeah.
If John Brown plays, I'm going him as a second one.
Yeah, I was thinking of John Brown too. I was thinking between John Brown and Samuel.
Now, I don't know if
good when he's healthy.
Yeah, that's the only issue.
Okay. All right, John Brown and Lockett. All right, so for the running backs, we got James Conner, Zeke, James White. Hey, there he is. And sorry, they keep adding questions. It keeps moving on me. And Bernard.
No,
Bernard. Duke Johnson, Ahmed. So you're staying away from Bernard because he probably won't play. Connor for sure. It's Connor and Elliott.
I mean, Zeke is the must start. Connor, well, while he would be technically the RB1, he's losing red zone carries for whatever reason. He's losing touches for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Who are the other options? Ahmed
and
Dookie Johnson.
James
White.
Yeah. James White.
Yeah.
So I like Ahmed the most out of the rest.
I think I'm rolling with Ahmed as well.
Yeah. I mean, James Conner's probably the best out of them talent-wise, but if you're losing touches, you're losing a red zone carry here and there. I mean, you're just difficult to start.
Yeah, they're giving Ahmed the choice, the touches, and I know I think they brought back up Jordan Howard, but we know what Jordan Howard is.
Yeah.
He's just another healthy body for the team.
No, Jordan Howard, he got released from the Dolphins. He's currently on the Eagles.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know why.
So, I mean, that kind of just emptied the backfield a little bit more for Ahmed to be a little bit of a safer play.
And I got to grab one of these guys as a flex, too. I got one flex. So out of the guys we're not starting, which would be Connor, James White, Duke Johnson, Williams, Samuel, Patrick. Who do you like as a flex?
Connor, probably.
Yeah, Connor's the safest one. If you really want to go for the upside, James White might be the nice pick for that one. He can get you a lot of PPR points.
I don't mind Duke Johnson's matchup.
If he plays. Is he playing for sure?
I mean, it's early. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, see, they play Thursday night, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yeah, so I mean
that game, actually they moved it to Sunday, right?
No, the Pittsburgh and the Ravens game got moved to Sunday.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So I mean, they play Thursday night. Hopefully we receive word if he plays relatively soon. But I mean, if he plays, he's going to get 95% of the playing time like he did last week. Unfortunately, he was still 95% disappointing.
Yeah, Duke Johnson is a career disappointment. I'm so sick and tired of Sleeper Wire endorsing this guy. I do not endorse Duke Johnson anymore. But you know what? That's when he'll get 100 yards and 2 touchdowns because he's playing the Lions at noon on Thanksgiving, and just weird stuff happens. And it's in Detroit.
If Duke Johnson plays, I'd have to put him on my flex spot.
All right. Eric Musial got a question on Mixler. Starting Gibson, Montgomery, Hill, and Fuller, 2 flex spots with CEH and Carson. Would you swap any of the following with those players? You've got Ahmad Shark, Mike Williams, and AJ Brown.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, so we're starting Gibson, Montgomery, Hill,
Gibson,
flexing
Hill.
CEH and Carson. And then our options to swap out are Chark, Mike Williams, AJ Brown, and Ahmed.
I want to get rid of Montgomery.
So, yeah, that's what I was looking at, too.
I want to get rid of Montgomery.
I'm hoping that I know he was hurt. I'm hoping that if he's healthy, we might see something different out of him. So, I don't know. I've been kind of holding on to him. But I guess
this is the start. Yeah, this is not a drop question. It's just a start question. Would you start? Yeah.
I think it was the last two. Who's the last two you gave? I think
Hill and Fuller.
Yeah.
As replacements, or those are actually in?
No, they're starters.
The start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sitting just Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and you're not sitting Fuller either. So
exactly. I'm taking out Montgomery and I'm putting in AJ Brown. AJ Brown averages 17.8 yards per catch. If you're going to do that in a PPR, that's a minimum 2.5 if it's half point PPR per catch. I like that option out into the week.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
It is not PPR.
It is not PPR. Well, the problem is Montgomery. I compare him to a broken refrigerator. It's just like he can't do anything correctly. I can't imagine yourself starting him in your lineup other than just pure desperation in the RB slot.
In a PPR, I can start him because I know he's going to get some catches out the backfield. But in a standard, I don't want to start him. Yeah, I'd lead him what you have already. Well, actually, no. What you have is Montgomery, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Montgomery's already starting.
Yeah, so we're pulling him out for.
You say AJ Brown?
Huh? Yeah, AJ Brown's my vote.
Yeah, AJ Brown. Absolutely.
Yeah. You're going to swing one of those flexed running backs up to the running back spot. All right. Oswaldo wrote me, and he says, can you answer my question from 6 hours ago in the chat? I'm at the movies. I want to know what movie you're watching, first of all, but I guess he's not listening. But he has 3 points here. Pick one wide receiver out of Brandon Cooks, Godwin, and AB standard.
Cooks, Godwin, AB, and standard.
Yeah.
Cooks and Godwin. Okay, so I'm going Cooks. And we're only picking one?
Yep.
Going Cooks. I like him on the matchup. Sean Watson's been targeting him heavily, especially in the red zone. They're always finding ways to get him open, whether it's a wide receiver screen, a little gadget play, or just off of his pure talent. Against Detroit, I like that matchup.
I like it. I'm not going to disagree.
Oh,
I do like Godwin.
Godwin's not a solid play, but I feel like he needs a touchdown for him to become relevant.
Yeah,
He's not doing enough yards.
Absolutely. He absolutely does because they're giving AB way too many targets. If they gave those same amount of targets to Godwin, it'd be Godwin.
Yeah. Correct. Fully agree.
So you're convinced on Cooks then?
100%.
Yeah, he's been. I dropped him earlier in the league, and I'm pretty upset about that. So.
All right. And then the second part is scrolled way down. Can I afford to hoard all of these running backs having Adams, Godwin, Cooks, and AB at wide receiver? I have Jacobs, J-Rob, David Johnson, CEH, Dobbins, Hines, Jay Williams, and Bell.
Yes.
What's the problem?
Yeah, you hoard running backs if you can.
That's what you do with them.
You hoard them. And if one goes down, congratulations. It's just, next man up. It's a luxury to have RBs.
And you're keeping them away from other guys, too.
Exactly.
Like, I dropped because I was hoarding running backs. And this is why I hate 10-man leagues. Don't play in 10-man leagues, even if your best buds ask you to. Don't do it. I dropped Mike Davis because I had to. My team, like in a 10-man team, your team is just stupid stacked. It's stupid. And you end up with players like just these guys are not very good. And I end up with so much talent. And then you have the problem every week. Who do you start? I don't like having those type of problems. I'd rather have like a guy I'm just starting every week. I'm not playing the matchups. But normally hoarding running backs is a good problem because you're keeping them from other players, if nothing else. So yeah, definitely don't get rid of him because someone's just gonna pick him up and he'll be playing against Mike Davis. It's not a good situation.
Jesus. Great. So who's this therapy hour here? Jeez Louise.
God.
How much time you guys got?
Oh, we got a
Well,
lot.
Whatever you got, man. All right, let's get back to some chat questions from the live stream here. Clamped EZ, JD McKissick, Zeke or Gus this week? God, did you ever think at the start of the season this would be a question?
Not at all.
Oh, God.
One of these things do not belong here. Yeah, I mean, you can't sit Zeke. I don't care.
You can't sit Zeke. You can't sit Zeke. It's silly. If Zeke goes off, and hopefully you're in a league with your buds, but if Zeke goes off, you should be roasted in the group chat every day for the rest of the year until next year fantasy.
And look, if one of these other guys go off, don't come in here and say Sleeper Wire don't know what they're talking about. You're not supposed to even have that question. So it's like if it happens, it's just like, I don't know, lightning struck or something. Don't start Zeke.
Just start Zeke. Do yourself a favor. Just start Zeke.
Yeah.
All right. Justin Fan says PPR pick 2, Claypool, Jefferson, DJ Moore, Duke Johnson.
Claypool. And this is a good one. So I like DJ Moore. I would like him in my lineup. And I would also like Claypool in my lineup. Claypool, I mean, he has the most touchdowns for rookies, 10 on the season. You know, he's going to be a red zone target. He's a deep threat target. But it's his receptions that sometimes is lacking there. And if it's PPR, you want to take advantage of that as much as possible. DJ Moore, I want to say Duke Johnson, honestly, but maybe you can't go wrong with Jefferson. But you have a good list of options. This is not a bad problem to have.
So here you go with Nader.
DJ Moore and Jefferson. Those are my final answers.
As you stroke your
my peach fuzz.
I like DJ Moore and Claypool. I like these other guys too, but for me, it's going to be DJ and Claypool.
Yeah, it's not a bad option.
All right. Diana Hill wants to know Dana Hill. I need 2 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. You guys can see the list on the screen. I'll read it for the radio listeners. Will Fuller, Michael Thomas, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Gio Bernard, Chase Edmonds, Damian Harris, Wayne Gallman. Quite a selection. So who are we starting at running back? Wide receiver. Let's do wide receiver first. We got to pick 2.
Will Fuller, Michael Thomas. Oh, actually, yeah, you have a solid list of wide receivers. Will Fuller, Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin. Okay, so I'm going Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp in the wide receiver 2 slots.
I'm going Fuller and Kupp.
No Michael Thomas? We're ditching him? I don't. It's
now with Taysom.
I mean, in the first game back, Michael Thomas did have over 100 yards. I don't see an offense where Sean Payton does not force feed or give Michael Thomas a good opportunity to succeed. It's hard to bench your first round player.
Dana has great options.
She has good options. Good options. She's stacked in the wide receiver position.
This is it's 2020 when we're telling you, when Hoos is telling you to sit Michael Thomas, because Nader's not telling you to do that.
I'm not telling you to do that.
But it's 2020 when you know that. But you got great options. This is a good team. Yeah. I'm jealous of your team, Dana.
Will Fuller, he's got a great matchup. Michael Thomas, he's just great. Justin Jefferson, he's great, but inferior compared to this list. Cooper Kupp, he's one of the most underrated wide receivers.
So we do agree with Fuller.
Yeah.
We agree with Kupp. Sorry.
I agree with Kupp, yes.
We agree with Kupp, and then Fuller and Michael Thomas. So would you say that Fuller would be the flex possibly, or Michael Thomas? Because that's what I would say.
Yes. So, I mean, if you start with Fuller in the wide receiver position, you're putting Michael Thomas in this flex.
All right. And then we got our flex running back. Who do we like out of running backs here?
So, one RB.
The running back.
Wayne Gallman.
Yeah.
Wayne Gallman currently has the second most red zone targets on the Giants with 10, and he's only played 4 games. So, he has the highest touchdown upside, whether that's rushing or passing.
All right. I'm waiting for this Bengals tight end question. I want somebody to ask about Ethan Carter
No, please don't.
Didn't he look like Hoos though? He looks just like Hoos, or Hoos looks just like him.
Oh, must be a handsome guy.
Well, I was looking at I was looking at him on Sleeper Wire today, or on
That
Sleeper
means
app.
he's going to be very, very good. You guys.
I was thinking like, oh, okay, second string tight end, practice squad, quarterback moved up. This guy's gonna have one of those weeks. Might be worth a dart throw. And I was like, oh my god, it's Hoos. It's Hoos the Prophet on the Bengals.
He's out there, slinging it. He's gonna be out there slinging it. You know?
That's terrible.
Mini Jordan 718 PPR. If Swift doesn't play, who should I play at RB2? Singletary, AP, Wilkins, or Pirine?
Oh, that's rough. That's a struggle. So if Gio Bernard does not play, Samaje Perine would be the best option. I mean, everybody else is fighting for their role. Wilkins is technically the third depth RB. AP, he had his chance last week. Absolutely disappointed. Samaje is going to be the guy.
Agreed. I'm gonna go with Samaje.
All right, Mini Jordan 718 PPR. Who should I start at flex? AB versus KC, Chark at Cleveland, DJ Moore or Deontay versus Baltimore. To the Rockets.
Oh God, Hoos, you go first on this one.
I'm gonna go AB. We needs one.
Yeah,
he's one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go AB just because they're force feeding this dude the ball and it's KC. That's gonna be a shootout.
I don't believe in the Bruce Arians offense. I think it is terrible. I'm going DJ Moore against Minnesota. A great matchup there.
I am at.
All right. Dana Hill says I dropped Mike Davis too. Y'all should start a group.
Look, we cry together. We ride together. We cry together. Bad fantasy players.
My name is Hussein, and I dropped Mike Davis. Hi, Hussein. Welcome to the circle.
Right.
You know, I was very lucky to not drop Mike Davis. I heavily considered it, but I decided, you know what?
I
should hold the handcuff.
Leagues where I had like I'm just in way too many leagues. So there's leagues where I'm like, oh, Mike Davis, you're still here. You know, like cool, I get to play you now. You know, but to be honest, he wasn't doing it for me those last two games when CMC was gonna come back. He was kind of shit in the bed. So I wasn't that upset when I dropped him, but now I am.
I mean, he has been a little bit disappointing, but when you are a starting RB, you always have potential starting value.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's touching. All right, Jones 345 wants us to get back on topic. Deshaun Watson or Justin Herbert this week?
Oh God, Deshaun Watson. I mean, Herbert's been playing great football. Don't get me wrong; he's playing very good football.
Yeah.
But Deshaun Watson is on another level. He has a lot of running potential, running value, and against Detroit, he's going to eat. It's sad to say. I mean, it's disappointing for me. I'm going against him in multiple leagues, but he's going to eat.
That's my boy.
All right. Jake Fan 87, drop Ayuk for Samuel. What do you think about this one?
We're talking about Deebo Samuel, I believe.
I would assume so, yeah.
Curtis, right?
Yes,
what?
He should be coming back from IR. If not this week, then officially next week.
What if it's Curtis Samuel?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, answer them both.
I think so. Just because he's the number one option on the team. But I don't want to drop Curtis Samuel because they just keep to look to get him involved, and it seems like they want to get Robbie less involved. Or maybe it's not that they want to get him less involved, but they know Robbie's Robbie, right? They know he's good. They know DJ is DJ. They want to see what else Curtis Samuel can do, I think, before they decide if they want to bring him back or try to move him, whatever the case. So that's why I struggle with the question. But I don't know. I've kind of been high on Curtis. I'm gonna go Curtis.
Wait, what? No, you got it all backwards. It's drop Ayuk for Samuel. You're getting rid of Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Curtis.
So you want to pick up Curtis Samuel? What if it's Debo?
Oh no, then Ayuk.
Okay, all right, that's clear. All right, Nader, what do you think?
Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk are the same exact players. One of them's just been healthier than the other the whole year.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather have in a redraft league. I'd rather have Deebo Samuel, just because he knows the offense a little bit better. He's a little bit more explosive. The offense goes through him, and the offense is a little different when he's not there compared to when he is there. But if it's Curtis Samuel, I'd still also rather have him than Ayuk. So both Samuels are going to get the nod for me.
Okay, the question was for Debo, so he just cleared that up on the chat. So
Deebo Samuel, yes. Deebo Samuel would be both.
Yeah, I want Ayuk.
You want Ayuk?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he has been the healthier of the two, but Debo has been.
That's strictly why. I
Yeah.
don't want to roll Debo out and then I'm like, damn it. And, like just something happens, and it's like it's a tough time of the year to be rolled. You really have to trust guys at this time of the year. And that's the tough part about playing, because usually you want to play a little bit looser, but you have to play a little bit. Or I mean, I always say too, no guts, no glory in fantasy football. So you don't got the guts, you don't got the balls, then you're probably not going to win either way. So,
But we're speaking of Debo like he is an elite wide receiver, one must start. He's honestly a flex at best.
Capable of
exactly,
but exactly. Like you're alluding to. It's safe to drop him because he's been unhealthy, or I mean, it's safe to leave him there as well because he just hasn't been that very healthy. Who wants to start him and just rely on him? And you're going to be biting your nails that whole game that he doesn't get injured or something like that.
And even if he doesn't get injured, he still has to be productive. I mean, they're running with backup offensive lineman on the Niners, backup quarterback. I mean, they're not necessarily tanking, but they're not exactly set up to succeed right now.
Good point. All right, give me a cookie wants to know, drop Higgins for Pittman. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He was answering someone's question. That we did as well. Jones, 3, 4, 5. Need one wide receiver, one flex. Here's your choices. Julio. Let me do that right. Julio Jones, Tyler Boyd, Solon Gus, Corey Davis, Pittman, PPR.
He's gonna have to repeat that one. I heard a lot of mic cutting in and out there.
Pittman and Julio, that I understood. The rest of it sounded like
a robot,
Mr. Roboto.
There we go.
The rest of it sound.
So Julio Jones.
We'll get you back.
So Julio Jones, Tyler Boyd, Salvin Ahmed, Gus Edwards, Corey Davis, Michael Pittman Jr. Alrighty. So for the wide receiver, you're gonna start Julio. If Julio plays, you start him.
Off the air?
No, you're good.
No, you're there.
You're just.
Oh no, my internet's down. What's going?
I don't know, but I think Ahmed, it'd be the what?
He's a safe flex.
He's a safe flex. So I'm gonna go
safe flex.
Julio. I forgot who the second guy was now.
So Julio, Tyler Boyd, Salvin Ahmed, Gus Edwards, Corey Davis, Michael Pittman. So Salvin Ahmed is going in the flex.
Salvin Ahmed, and then Pittman and Julio for me.
Yeah. So if Julio plays, you're starting Julio. If he does not play, Michael Pittman would be the guy in to replace him. I think that's a good.
Do they only need one?
They only need one wide receiver.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So Julio,
there we go.
Julio, exactly what Nader said. Yep.
There we go. So until our boy comes back, we got Chiefs guy who's asking Zach Moss, Philip Lindsay, or Jamal Williams rest of the season. Who'd you got?
Rest of the season, I'm gonna go
Zach Moss. So I mean, Philip Lindsay would be a great pick if we knew what would happen with Melvin Gordon. I mean, he still has his court dates for driving DUI, so he could be suspended later on in the season. And then Philip Lindsay would be the step and plug and play RB2.
That's true. That's a good point that everyone should remember, because I did not.
There you go. I mean, Zach Moss is in a good offense that's probably going to be leading games, but I mean, the Bills aren't the best at running the ball, so I would rather deter from him. Jamal Williams is the backup running back to Aaron Jones. He is still productive in that offense. He's just not necessarily fantasy productive. I will go for the high upside in Philip Lindsay.
Productive, I think. I mean,
yes,
about like 10 to 11 points a game.
I mean, he has those Jamal Williams has that potential, but how confident are you holding him the rest of the season, thinking he's going to be a very productive RB for you?
Well, in the Packers offense, you're not hoping, hopefully you're not hoping that Aaron Jones gets hurt, but I guess that's the owner you are. But like you have Jamal Williams and that offense, when you know everyone that's touched that ball looks dope. Like every time they touch the ball, they just ball.
Exactly.
I want to have him on my team, but Zach Moss. All right, who are we leaning? So we got Zach Moss, Jamal Williams,
Yes.
and then
Philip Lindsay.
Philip Lindsay. I do like your take on Philip Lindsay. I still think I lean Zach Moss, though. I just think that they want to get him the ball.
Okay. So, I mean, Jamal Williams has probably one of the highest upside considering he's on the best offense. But, I mean, Aaron Jones is there and he just looks really good. So it'd be hard for me to go, hey, I like Philip Lindsay because if Melvin Gordon gets suspended, you have an elite RB2 in that spot.
I like it.
All right, so
when is Melvin Gordon get suspended? That's not going to happen this year.
I don't think
we don't know. His court date is, I think, the 27th, I believe.
It's not going to happen.
He called. If anybody remembers the situation, we'll go over really quickly. He called the team. He had a couple drinks at dinner. I believe where he is in Denver, like the alcohol level. So equivalent, if you have like 2 glasses of wine and a beer, you're over the limit. How many of us have actually driven home that way, right? Like he called the team. They're not going to suspend him unless the NFL does. The team definitely won't. And I don't think the NFL. Maybe they will because it's a DUI, but
no.
I think they have to. They got to set a precedent.
They might because it's a DUI. I do agree, but maybe not until next year. This season's pretty much over.
Yeah, this.
I do like what you brought up. I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that.
But you answered the question with Jamal Williams, right? The rest of the season, I had a serious internet connection there. Problem. I am back. So we're up to Chef's Guy, correct?
There we go. Yes. We'd be going on to his part 2.
All right. So part 2, I have Cooks. I'm sorry. I have Cook, Moss, Sanders, Montgomery, David Johnson, half point. That's just extra information. That's just rest of season information.
Oh, okay.
Number 33, I need help with my 2 wide receivers and flex. Playoff position is tight. Half point. Wide receivers are Pittman, Juju, Debo, Mike Williams, Aguilar, and Beasley. Running backs, Taylor, Ballage, and Edmonds. I'm starting Chubb and Drake as running backs. Who else should I play? So I need 2 wide receivers and a flex out of that list of guys.
Can we get it again?
Yeah, Pittman, Juju, Debo, Mike Williams, Aguilar, and Beasley.
Pittman, White Williams for me. You like Juju?
Like Juju? Okay, so
my cousin said Juju.
Yeah, I got Taylor, Ballage, and Edmonds as my backup running backs. I could flex one of those guys too.
I like flexing the wide receivers instead.
Yeah. If you're in a PPR, I'd prefer going for the wide receivers. I mean, if we're picking 2 wide receivers in a flex, I would go Pittman and Aguilar. They're both playing really good football right now. Aguilar has the most red zone targets on the Raiders, and he's consistently somehow pulling touchdowns down when he's not dropping babies. Michael Pittman, he's just on a hot streak.
I was going to bring that up.
So good to touch it. Somebody was gonna bring up babies.
If there's an Aguilar take, there's a dropping babies take.
Yeah, you gotta talk. Yeah, otherwise you're not doing it right.
Exactly. Are you really talking about Aguilar then? So I mean, Cole Beasley would be a great flex for me because especially if John Brown does not play. If John Brown does not play, Cole Beasley always has the highest targets on the team and one of the highest yards. Last week when John Brown exited the game, he had over 100 yards receiving. I would go Cole Beasley in the flex.
All right. D's Nuts 26. James Robinson or Drake in a full PPR. Who do you guys like to start this week?
Drake.
James Robinson.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I didn't hear James Robinson.
Ooh.
James Robinson always. You never
All right.
You never pick out your lineup. What's wrong with you? Who is this guy? Can we take time to fillet this person?
No, it's D's Nuts 26. He's protected by having an excellent screen name. Start 3, DJ Moore, Anderson, Pittman, Evans, and Landry. So I need to sit 2 of these guys. DJ Moore, Anderson, Pittman, Evans, and Landry. I need 3.
DJ Moore and Pittman and Evans.
I'm not going to recommend you start DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, both receivers on the same team. So I'm going to go DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, and Evans.
All right. Some agreement there. All right. Minnie Jordan had a question. This just came in. PPR, Jonnu versus the Colts or Goddard versus Seattle. There are reports that Ertz might be back off IR for Monday's game. I also heard,
baby. That's all right.
heard the coach was saying we might run some 13 personnel packages. So there might be 3 tight ends on the field at any given time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You like that. You like that.
Touchdown dependent Jonnu, or are you taking a risk on Goddard?
I don't think it's a risk. I mean, they like both of these guys on the field at the same time. Ertz helps Goddard, in my opinion. So I like, and in Seattle, I know they've been pretty good against tight end, but they're not using Goddard like a tight end. They're using him as a wide receiver, and they're pretty bad against wide receivers. So they're going to have Ertz out there as the number 1 tight end, and you can tell me I could get Goddard as a wide receiver. Give me Goddard.
Mm-hmm. Give me Goddard also against Seattle. Seattle allows the most offensive yards in the NFL. You got to imagine Goddard is going to get a slice of that pie.
All right. I'm going to put this one up. I just want to see if he blushes. Yiggity Yeet says that Nader guy is hella good looking.
Is he wrong though?
He's pretty nice looking. I gotta say, he's got that nice beard. He's got the nice bird. He's been doing this all night, on that.
I
gotta go mine in. This is on the light side.
Hey, looking good so far. But I gotta ask you, does it connect? Does the beard connect?
A little something.
Because you know the saying: if the beard don't connect, neither do we.
That's a fact.
Where did you find that? All right. Last one in the stack.
I don't know. You're just laying around. Like, hey.
The phone lines are open. It looks like we're going to be wrapped up in an hour here, unless somebody calls in. Curtis, Jesus, DJ. How about some of my regular callers getting their asses in gear?
Don't tell me you guys got kicked out of the playoffs.
No.
No. Here's what it is. You guys been listening all season, and you guys got that bye week. You know, you guys got that bye week just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out today. I get it. I got it. Y'all can call us and still say what's up. You know, it's cool. We only got you there.
Phone number is 205-797-5337, 205-799-SLEEP if you want to get in. Last question from the Mailsack from Mugshot. Give Duke, oh God, here we go again. Give Duke one more week to show up. He's playing against Detroit and Cobb is out. I know you guys like Duke this week, but
Duke Johnson? I mean, yeah. What do you
where would you
put the question? I'm just giving him a try, sure. But
yeah, like I guess like where's the line for you? Like if you could name some players, like where's the line that Duke Johnson fits in where it's like, yeah, now I'm starting to really consider this. Like I'm not quite sure if I want to start Duke or this guy.
So if it's like Wayne Gallman, I'll go Wayne Gallman. If it's McKissick, I'd probably lean towards McKissick. If it's let's see.
Those are easy ones though. Give them give
him some harder ones. All right.
Like Samaje Perine. Duke or Samaje Perine?
If P. Ryan plays and he's considered the starter, I'd probably go Duke. I'd probably go Duke on that one.
Duke or Jamal Williams?
Duke.
Yeah.
I'd go Duke. I mean, he plays 95. He played 95% of the snaps 95% of the snaps last week. I mean, and he was immensely disappointing. I feel like, you know, a touchdown's got to get converted at one point.
Right. I mean, he's got all of the opportunity. I mean, they're not giving the ball to Buddy Howell. They're not giving the ball to whoever else is the backup behind there. Duke Johnson looks good when he gets the ball. I mean, he's had a couple tough matchups, but he's got a good one now. So we're gonna see. I think Nader's right on there. I think Duke's gonna be the choice.
Yeah.
But that's probably the line for you, Steve. Jamal
He's
Williams.
like
Because
the
you got me
last.
thinking.
Yeah, he's like the last RB with the job to himself type of guy
Right.
before you start thinking about RB2s. I mean, not RB2s in your team, but RB2s on the NFL team.
I'm going to rank him probably between 28 and like 38 this week.
Okay. All right. Ooh, there. Now we got the old listeners calling in here. Give me a hell yeah.
Okay.
Stone Cold Rogers, Crazy Canuck, 20 something. It got cut off. It's got too long of a screen name. Cam Newton, Drew Lock, or the Rudy. No, that's the Rock. Or that some bitch Phillip Rivers. Who do you like a quarterback this week? Cam, Drew, or Phillip?
Believe it or not, that's some bitch.
Oh, he gave me the double beer emoji. Good job. Nice.
I'm going Cam Newton. I mean, he's got a lot of running ability. He's probably the best running back on that roster, and he's got the best red zone to touchdown ratio. I mean, last week, he put up a nice 22 fantasy points, and I think that is a solid stat line for what I would expect this week against an Arizona Cardinals defense that's a little suspect. So I think they're going to come out with a good game plan and get him really involved in the running game.
They got to get that boy some weapons. He ain't got no weapons. Demir Bird and Jacoby Myers, as fine as they did, those aren't real weapons for Cam Newton. I mean, guy had weapons. He's not going to get it. Like, he's serviceable. He's an MVP type of player with great weapons. He doesn't have the weapons.
All right. Apparently, this is also a super flex. So this might be his second quarterback that he's starting. So this could be. I don't know if that means anything, but
potentially, just because when you're starting at super flex, obviously, if you have one quarterback, you're going to go for the points you think is the most. When you have super flex, you're going to target possibly if he has a bigger game. So you're going for that bigger boom possibly. And super, depending on how you want to handle it.
I mean, Drew Lock is going against the Saints. I would avoid that matchup at all costs at this point. And
you can't start Drew Lock.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers would be the other option. It goes against the Titans. He kind of decimated the Titans first time around. So it is not a bad option.
Yeah, I like him.
And I wouldn't blame you into going with that. But, I mean, I believe in Cam Newton's running ability. I think if you are in a 4-point per passing league, running quarterbacks just get elevated just a tiny bit more to the point where you're willing to risk it for that higher ceiling.
6 point per touchdown. He already has Deshaun Watson. Details are coming in as we go. Does that change your mind at all?
You know what? Let me do a quick Phillip Rivers search. Let's see how he did, who is currently listed as questionable, by the way. I don't know if that affects anything.
No, Phillip Rivers, I feel like he's always like, not questionable, but he's always like a guy that you might have to worry about just as a quarterback, period. But this year, I don't know. He's looked kind of, other than that crazy throwing style that he always has, is annoying as heck. He's all right. He's doing all right, you know. And everybody knows, listen to Sleepwire show. I'm always dogging Phillip Rivers. He's trash to me.
Oh,
even though he's like a Hall of Fame, he's a low key Hall of Fame quarterback. He's still trash to me.
True.
But this week, go with Phillip Rivers.
So, I mean, the first time Phillip Rivers played Tennessee, he threw for 308 yards and only one passing touchdown. They had 34 points. So, I mean, you got to think some of that 34 points is going to translate into passing touchdowns. So, I don't blame you for going Phillip Rivers. It's not a bad option. I just like running quarterbacks a little bit more. So, I would hit Cam Newton.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
Be close. I didn't check my rankings at all this show because I don't have my computer in front of me. But I would say if shoot us a question go to sleeperwire.com. If you have an additional question, we got more information and you're not listening or something like that, so just type it in now. Just do that.
All right. We got to jump back to a question. When I had my internet burp and outage, You guys talked about it, but the listeners on the Mixler didn't hear the answer. And then one of those listeners was Jones 345. So let's revisit this one real quick before we move on to the rest. He needs one wide receiver, one flex. It was Julio, Tyler Boyd, Salvin Gus, Corey Davis, or Michael Pittman. It's a PPR. So I want one of those wide outs and one of those guys as a flex. Do you remember who you said on this question?
I believe so.
Yeah, we said if Julio plays, you're starting him. If he does not play, you're going Michael Pittman. And then in your flex, Salvin Ahmed would be the guy.
Okay. All right. There you go, Joan. 3, 4, 5. Questions coming in here about tight end. Dana Hill wants to know PPR, Jonnu or Hayden Hurst this week.
I'm going to go Hurst.
I'm going to go Jonnu. Hurst put a donut for me last week. Disappointing. Leaves a sour taste in my mouth. He's borderline droppable just out of pure frustration.
For me, whenever a guy has a terrible game, that just means that he's going to go out and have a better one the next game.
Or they could do it again and leave you sad even more.
These are people that look, you don't want, you go to work, you hear like a rumor of somebody talking trash about you or something. What you going to do? You're going to ball out that day. You're going to hand out 100 memos. You're gonna make sure you're the employee of the week. You assisted everyone at the copy printer. You know what I'm saying? Like you got coffees for everybody. You bought donuts. You know what I'm saying? Like people love you now. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of vibes you gotta have.
I mean, all right, Hayden Hurst in half-point PPR's highest point total was week 6 with 13.7. Is that good enough?
It's tight end good enough.
Jonnu Smith, I just think the touchdown potential. All he needs is one catch for.
I do agree with
6.5.
that, but I just feel like with everyone healthy, I don't know. Jonnu, since AJ Brown has been back, Janu's been so. But look, you're not wrong on Hurst. Hurst has been darn near droppable. I actually did drop Hurst earlier in the year, and I haven't regretted him, even though he's had decent games. But it's hard to say when he's going to have those decent games. I just like him to bounce back. That's the only reason why I'm going with Hurst. Whenever a guy has a 0-point game, there's just no way they're going to do it again. Like, he's going to go to the quarterback like, dude, get me the ball. People are clowning me on Twitter. They want the ball. They're gonna have a bounce back.
If Julio does not play, I would go for sure Hayden Hurst. They got to move the ball down the field. They got to get him involved. But if Julio does play, Julio's just the target.
It's close.
I'm going to go to the coach.
All right.
I'm going to go to the coach, and I'm going to say they're dogging me on Twitter, Coach. Give me the rock. That's going to work. Let's talk about kickers. Mini Jordan 718, sleeper kicker of the week. I don't even know if this guy's a sleeper anymore, but Carson for Las Vegas has been sneakily good and very
good. Carson,
Joey Sly owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues right now. Joey Sly going against Minnesota Vikings.
Koo's not a sleeper. Obviously, he's been balling all year. Blankenship, Hauschka.
Fat Randy might have a good week.
Yeah.
I don't think Cincinnati's going to score too much, but they'll move the ball.
I like that. I like the bullet pick. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know, Nader. Who do you like? Sleeper kicker of the week. This is a fun segment.
This is my favorite one. Tyler Bass, 15% owned in Yahoo leagues for the Bills. I mean, last 3 weeks, 21, 14, and 18.
Ooh.
I mean, that's not a bad stat line right there for you.
Those Dim's flex numbers.
A lot of the times, kickers are just more valuable than tight ends. I just want to point that out there.
They kind of are.
Yeah,
we should just allow kickers to be flex players.
I wish Yahoo or it was a standard type thing where you take out the tight end position, just allow another flex.
They should totally allow kickers as a flex.
Yeah, you should.
Black Mamba 24 half-point PPR, P. Ryan, Malcolm Brown, or Singletary this week. Yeesh.
Ryan.
Can we repeat that, please?
Half-point PPR, P. Ryan, Malcolm Brown, or Singletary for the start.
That's a yucky. But if Samaje is going to be the starter, then you'd have to go him.
These are
probably 3 guys that Duke Johnson might start over. This is kind of the level where he would float. He floats at the top just a little bit.
But you have to like guesstimate just in case Pirine does not play. It's not a given yet. This is just you know what it's looking like. If he's not the starter, I'd probably go Singletary. I believe is the other option.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown or Singletary.
Yeah, Singletary would be the guy.
All right, we got a question from Justin Fan. My RBs are Connor, Gibson, McKissick, Eckler, McCaffrey, Moss. My wide receivers are A.J. Brown and McLaurin. I have and Ayuk. Are you dropping any of them for Pittman?
RBs, Connor, Gibson, McKissick, Eckler, McCaffrey, Moss, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins.
Moss.
Maybe, yeah, either Moss, if you feel like you're comfortable in the RB position. If you're feeling sketchy in the wide receiver, I'd probably drop Ayuk for Pittman.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Or T. Higgins, actually. T. Higgins with a backup quarterback, you're not quite sure what he's going to do. T. Higgins is technically the third option on that team behind AJ Green and Tyler Boyd. Actually, I'm going to retract that and go drop T. Higgins.
Well, I don't want to drop him just yet. I want to see what the quarterback does because he might latch on to T. Higgins.
That's true.
I mean, he is
that
the
is
future.
True.
I would say Ayuk just because we already know what the quarterback's relationship will. We actually haven't seen much of Mullins and Ayuk. It's been a very short span. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you for dropping Ayuk either.
All right. Follow-up question. PPR, Logan Thomas, Ertz, Disley, or Reed at the tight end start this week?
Yuck. Not Reed, that's for sure. I'd rather not Disley. I'd rather not Logan Thomas either. Zach Ertz is alone an effective target.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ertz. They're gonna target him. If he's playing, that means he's healthy enough to play. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ertz.
Are you rostering 4 tight ends?
In a 12 team, I might.
This might be waivers, to be honest, though.
Okay,
this could be waivers. He might just
in a 12 team. I'm definitely rostering 3.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a low key tight end hoarder. Like I have in a 10-man that I hate that I'm in this 10-man, but it's with my college buddies, so it's cool. I have Ingram, Cook, and Goddard in a 10-man.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
this guy might have 3 tight ends too. Simon Cha, Akins, Ebron, or Gesicki for the start this week.
Ebron.
I'm going Gesicki. I feel like Ebron, he's just kind of a potential target on the Steelers, not necessarily a target. Gesicki is a target.
I like Akins too, but I'm gonna go Ebron.
Yeah. We need a tiebreaker. I think Gesicki's the guy.
I was actually going to go Akins.
Oh, God.
So then go Akins because Akins was my second.
Okay.
I don't know why. I have a feeling about him this week, but I really don't.
I like Akins. I've always liked him. Only reason why I don't like him as much is because I'm a fan of Daniel Fells, but no one else is apparently.
Yeah, I think Fells is a great tight end, and he's technically the starting tight end too. So you have to count on how many times will Akins actually run a productive route. That makes it a little suspect for me to start him. Gesicki, he's on the field most of the time, always running routes. He has the highest potential for me to become fantasy viable.
Yep. All right, Justin Pham says they have Thomas and Ertz. I have Thomas and Ertz rostered. Okay, so he's got 2 tight ends rostered. So he's just clearing that up. Didn't want us to roast him on that one. All right, guys.
I was ready.
Any last minute calls? Call in while I check the notes here. The number is 205-797-5327 sleep. Let me just check the that. Give dude. Oh no, we did that one, and we did that one, and there's nothing on Facebook. I believe that is it. We didn't hear from Curtis for 2 weeks now. I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, I might have to go track him down on Twitter and Facebook and see what's up. Because I'm a little, I get a little worried when I don't hear from Curtis every week.
There's one question we may have missed.
Which one?
Let's see. Fulgham or Lazard rest of the season?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
I pulled this question from the channel. This was just a post, and I think it was a couple of days old. But I figured, what the heck? So Fulgham or Lazard, rest of season. Cratchit wanted to know this PPR, and I thought this was interesting because Lazard was sitting nice in an IR spot for a lot of people for a while. Do you believe he's worth hanging on to for rest of the season, or are you ready to flip him off and send him out?
I like Lazard.
I'm going to go Lazard also. Fulgham has been a good option. He's going to continue to be a pretty decent option, but I think he has a ceiling, or a low ceiling, that is close to being met with how healthy the Eagles are starting to get. Lazard, he's just one Devontae Adams injury from being a pretty much must-start type receiver. Lazard would be the guy to run the hood.
Does he still have more value though than, like, even say Adams plays the rest of the year completely healthy? He's more valuable than MVS, right?
Lazard, I think he's the more talented receiver. MVS, he's just kind of taking advantage of the situation of him being the only one left.
I think MVS is more talented. I think Lazard is he has better chemistry with Rodgers. He's a big dude. He's 6'5", pause. But he's a large man, and he's just, how do you miss that dude? He's a big guy. He's average, I think, top 12 when he was healthy. Granted, very small sample size, it was only 3 games, but he was averaging top 12 points per game when he was healthy. Yeah, I like Lazard a good bit. I think he is the number 2. We just had Olivia Reiner on beat. She's a Packers beat reporter. She says that they're still trying to figure that out. So it's not like I got some inside information for you to say that she said it was MVS. She said it was Lazard. She doesn't know. As we're still trying to figure it out, they don't know. But if I had to put my money on it, it's still Lazard, but they definitely want to get MVS more involved. He's got a lot of talent. The dude's a burner.
Yeah, I'm going to agree there. I would rather have Lazard than Fulgham. I feel like his ceiling is a lot higher, especially if you're going to stash a player. You want to stash a player with a very high ceiling, which means Lazard would be the guy.
All right, that'll do it then. That is not the right tune. All right, so that is it for the Mailsack. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. And don't forget, there is another show just like this on Sunday mornings. It's called The Blitz. It starts at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Start Sit Advice. Same phone number, same platforms. You watch it, different talent. All the guys on that show have beards as well.
What is it, our beard?
Some glasses. It's kind of like Metamorphosis when you watch
it. Really
it left to right.
Yeah.
It looks like the same guy almost. It's kind of confusing.
I think Mailsack team is the all looks team because we got Jay Rich, we got Nader, he's got compliments. We got we got Lucas. You know he's doing. You know what he's doing on the weekends. So yeah, these weekend guys, these Sunday guys. You know, give them a little love. Check them out. They'll answer your
That's
start.
What you want? You know, you want some eye candy.
Yeah, we are going to start that.
Or do you?
We are going to start that OnlyFans.
At guys that are not eye candy, but definitely will get you to the chip. Like those guys will definitely get you to the chip. But you know they're not the most handsome guys in the world.
You're saying we won't get you there?
No, we have a good chance of getting them there too. But at least we look. I mean, look at us. I mean,
look at that.
You know what I mean?
Boom. Like next time I'm on here, I'm going to be shirtless.
All right, so
there you go.
If you didn't get your question answered, you're listening on the replay. The phone number works. You can find us on onlyfans.com/sleeperwire, sleeperwire.com. You can send questions through the form in there. Twitter at Sleeperwire Show, Facebook groups, Sleeperwire Fantasy Football Club. I want to thank Hoos the Prophet for being on the show. You can find him on Twitter at Sleeperwire Hoos, and Nader from Top Tier Tactics, TTTFantasyFootball.com. You can find him on Twitter at Top Tier Tactics _. Don't forget the underscore, because if you just go to the one without the underscore, you're going to get screwed. They're going to give you bad advice.
Yeah, they give horrible advice. It's the wrong guy. It's a troll account.
Imposter.
It's the pervert too.
True.
Terrell Pryor style.
My DMs are filthy with that other guy.
Unless you like that type of thing.
We will be back next week for the Mailsack, 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. Good luck, week 12, Thanksgiving week. Enjoy the holiday, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey.